All right, so welcome to today's coach's call. Once again, I'm David Zaitchik. I am the commissioner of NCL. We haven't, if you're new to the call. And today on the call, we also have Ashley Dodge, who is our relatively new operations associate from Cyber Skyline. How long have you been with Cyber Skyline now, Ashley?
Oh, I believe I am in my fourth week. So
So very
yeah,
new.
so I started with the NCL season and just jumped right in.
Yep, great. So, and Franz is on the other call right now. So if you guys are not aware, right now we have Spirit Week going on. So that is where Franz is at. All right, next slide.
All right, so we are going to talk about, we have the award ceremony and Q&A on Friday, which is going to start at 7:15 p.m. Eastern. And that is where we will reveal the results of the top individual players as well as the top teams. We will not be announcing that on today's call. That will be live on Friday evening. If you have not yet, I do have the link for this so that you can sign up. I'm going to pop that in the chat right now, and you can register to join us on Friday night. All right, and so we want to take a look at just a couple of the survey results from this season so far. We've had incredible numbers, honestly. If people are, looking to recommend NCL, we had 49.4% that said yes, 10 out of 10 would recommend this. And then how do you participate in the NCL? The majority of our players did say that they do participate within their club. 32% said that they have to participate as part of the class, and even 29.9% they participate by themselves. So we kind of have a wide range here, but it's great turnout, and we're continuing to increase our numbers.
Yeah, and if you look at that, it looks like the top two.
Oh, sorry.
If you combine the I have to and I have the option to, it looks like over 50% is related to a class either required or just maybe extra credit. So that's interesting, especially for our coaches call, just to see where we're at. All right, thanks. Go ahead, Ashley, sorry.
All right, so if the students plan on working in cybersecurity, before and after NCL said yes, we have a very small number of no's and a pretty low number of maybes as well. So I mean, I think this continues to have students working towards that path of being within cybersecurity, that this is reinforcing, their decision that they've made. All right, and the NCL has helped me. And you can see across the board that we do have amazing numbers for the agree, apply classroom learning, improve cyber skills, and improve cyber knowledge. This is remarkable in numbers. I mean, it's extremely low on the disagree or not applicable.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's working.
It is. Okay, so excuse me. So we do have the NCL Discord, and if you haven't joined, we do have a coach's corner for all of you guys to join us and talk amongst yourself and share tips. I'm going to pop that in the chat for you as well, so that you can go ahead and join us if you haven't already. And then another thing we're going to look at is the in Discord under the general tab, all the way down to no answer, only methodologies. We are going to go over every single one of the tasks and the games. And so looking at these, you can actually sort by tag. You can look at the team game. You can also come up here and you can enter a keyword and it'll bring it up. And then you'll see this whole discussion on how to solve all of the things that your students were working on. So if you do have questions, this is a great place to go to check this out. And it all is in Discord.
So I'm really curious as to see how many people have done this, been here. Maybe if you could use your Zoom reactions, give us a little green check mark. that to see if you've actually been to where Ashley was just showing you the no answers only channel within Discord. And give me a red X if you haven't. And let me see if I can see that showing up on participants. Okay, cool. I've got a couple yeses, one no, couple no's. Still coming in, people still looking for the green check mark and red check mark or thumbs up. Okay, well, I think oh, good. And put some yeses in. But if you can't find that green or red check mark, put your answer in the chat. So, Ashley, can you do that one more time? I think.
Yeah.
I got a few no's, so I think this is pretty new to people. And
Yeah,
I think
of course.
it's super important for coaches to see where either their students have gone or where you can lead them to. Because I know a lot of students after participating in the NCL, they're like, oh man, I really want to know how to do that particular challenge. Or maybe even a coach wants to figure out how they got super close, but they didn't quite figure it out. This is a great community spot where participants are posting how they solved the challenge. So okay, so
Yeah.
again, you're in Discord here.
Yeah, so you can either be, whether it's in the app or on the web page, and over here on the left-hand side, you will see under the general tab, the drop down, you're going to come all the way down to no answers. And this is where all of this information will actually be, usually.
Oh yeah, you were just
It
there.
was just here. I apologize. I'm not sure where all of this went.
Oh, well, that's because I made you do it twice is probably the problem.
It probably was. So here's one of the ones, but yes, when you go in there, it should be there. But it will open up a side view and you can see all of the discussions that are happening from students, coaches, from the Cyber Skyline team, from NCL. And this will help your students to understand a little bit more about the challenges.
Right. And so we had this for the individual game. And now what you're seeing here is for the team game. Is that correct, Ashley?
It is, yes. Well, so we do have all of the individual games. And if this was, I can reload this and maybe it'll come up a little bit easier. I apologize. There we go. All right. So there is this bar right across the top that I'm scrolling over. And if you click down here, you can see all these tags. And so you can click just to see the team game challenges, or and then you can also use these other tags as well to search for individual challenges, or you can use the search bar feature at the top.
Great. Thanks for showing that again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to paste back in here for John the link that you gave for Discord, because it says he can't copy that link.
Okay.
And I'll do the same thing here too for the award ceremony.
Okay.
So they're back in there. Let me know if that works for you, John.
It might be user error. I just can't copy anything out of the chat, so I'll just do a screenshot.
Can you so if you click on it, it should take you, like when I hover over it, I can click on that, the link in chat.
Oh, you know what? One of my coworkers is on there, so he's going to Slack it to me. All right.
Okay, great.
If
Thanks,
not,
Jason.
you can always send me a quick email, a.dodge@Cyber Skyline, and I'm happy to send all of these links to you as well.
All right, thanks.
So yeah, again, this is something that we covered during the last coaches meeting, was to get all of us on Discord, because that is the main communication tool we're using now. We did move away from Slack, and we are fully on Discord for the game itself for students. And then also what we're trying to do is, get a little more communication going too between us coaches. And so therefore we have a coaches channel as well within Discord. So that Discord invite link you see there, and also the QR code will get you into the NCL Discord server. and within that server, you can find specifically what Ashley was just showing you, the answers. Actually, no answers.
No answers, no answers.
No answers, just methodologies of how you solved each challenge. And then also in that server too, we have a specifically designed channel just for coaches. So,
and you will see all of the announcements come out when we have events coming up, when deadlines are approaching, anything like that. Those will all be announced in Discord as well.
Yeah. And what we can do too after this call, if anyone wants to stay on, we're available to help walk you through getting Discord set up. So if you do need any help with that, we're definitely here and willing and able to help you get that moving along and going, because we are trying to get more of us coaches on Discord, and then also pointing students toward Discord as well is a great resource for them. Any other questions about Discord before we move on?
All right.
Cool. Okay, so moving on to the next topic, we do have, I mentioned this a while back, but now we do have the official announcement for the NCL Research Paper Contest. So what we're looking for here is a research paper related to NCL, and we're opening it up to any researchers, academics, coaches, students from both the US and Canada, because that's really where we have the NCL game being played. What we're trying to do is we want to promote, innovative research specifically for competitions, incorporating competitions into classes, anything related to that, just to be able to show, what you're doing and any success that you are seeing with incorporating competitions into classes, or, however that's going. We're going to open up submissions for this contest at the end of September. So we will start accepting new research, any research paper that you do want to submit. That'll be September 30th. 30th is when you can start submitting. And as that date gets closer, we'll obviously have a link of where you do the submitting of that research paper. And we're going to have quite a big window of time available for you for when the window opens and when it closes. So we will close that window on January 30th. So that will be the deadline of when the last research paper can be submitted. The prizes for this is we're going to give $600 for first place, $250 for second, and $150 for third place. All right, next. So a little bit more about guidelines, pretty basic, template here for when you are submitting a research paper, things that you do need to be aware of. Obviously, it should be in English, needs to be original. We put that it should be unpublished as of today, April 19th, because we do want new works, not just kind of something that you had accepted a while back. We're trying to encourage new research into this area. Format, we have IEEE as the template, and of course we'll provide that template as the time gets closer. We're looking for papers from 5 to 10 pages long, which is pretty standard for most journals. We do, of course, want an abstract, which is also standard for a journal of 250 words, no more than 250 words. Keywords, of course, references and APA style. And when we do go about reviewing the research papers for the awards, we are going to do this as a double-blind process. So when you submit your paper, we will not see your name, so the review board will not know who's submitting a paper. So that will, remove any bias. All right, next. slide. So I do want to thank some people that have helped work on this with us. Andrea, Guy, Philip, Tim, and Costas. They did join me for a call and we went through some of the basics of what you just saw. And if you guys are here, you're still on the hook. This group will also be reviewing the submissions come January. A couple things just to mention about why we have end of January as the deadline. There was discussion about, well, if someone is new to this field and they're just doing research, we do want you to be able to go through an entire NCL game cycle so that you can actually do, some relevant research on the actual game being played. And once the game is over, which is about November timeframe, we do want to give you a little bit of time to collect, analyze, and write the paper. So that is why we're having the deadline be the end of January. Any questions, comments? See anything in chat about this? Okay. Well, if anything comes up, we are definitely here to discuss this and answer questions for you. So what we want to do now is go into our breakout rooms and do some discussion. And today's discussion is we're going to talk about what you do post-season. So really the idea again behind this discussion time and creating these breakout rooms is for you guys to, kind of get to know each other a little bit and also share ideas. Of, in this case, what, where you lead your students to after the NCL is done, or maybe any ideas they've given you about what they do once the NCL is over, since we just finished the team competition. What else do they do in the off season? So at this time, if you do want to participate in this discussion, please stay on the call. If you were just here to get all the information that we just provided and not participate in the discussion, that's totally fine. But now is the end of the kind of the announcement portion of the coaches call, and we will be moving into the discussion section now. One other thing to mention, because I know people are dropping off, is that we will be sending out a poll to figure out when we can meet again. So pretty much every season we pick one time, and so this time, we were meeting Wednesdays at what is it, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. But we know people's schedules change over time to the next semester, so we are going to send out another poll to figure out when we should continue meeting over the summer and into the fall. So be looking out for that if you are dropping off the call. All right, well, I jumped into both of the rooms, and it seems like you guys had some great conversations. So the last few minutes here is I want to have each of the room leaders do a quick summary of what you guys talked about so the whole group can know. So John, you're up.
Hi, everyone. All right, so we had a very talkative group, so it was great. Professional development, pretty cool. I'm going to follow up with this one. Marcy she teaches at the Henry Ford Community College. She's going to do electric vehicle cybersecurity training. I personally, I'm going to try to do some of the CompTIA certifications that I am teaching, so just so I can relate to my students what the exams are like. That led to a discussion on the challenges of maintaining our certifications as instructors, the costs involved, and the effort doing CPEs. So that's, I think, a legitimate concern for instructors. And then I suggested, look for the companies that want to give you things, right? So we LBCC have a meeting with Hack the Box tomorrow because they're reaching out to us because they want us to use their content. So I always tell my students I don't want them to pay for stuff. I don't want them to pay for content. I want to get that for them. Expanding, Jason's going to be expanding his programming language repertoire, specifically C#, and then using that Discord channel you showed us so that we can build up a library of solutions to show the students so that they don't some of the challenges are hard, and we don't want the students to like never get an answer on how they could solve these things. Over the summer, LBCC is going to be hosting 2 Cyber Patriot camps. Realize not NCL, but that's going to be a lot of the same group of students that were in my junior high and high school class this summer or this spring. Then one of the teachers was looking for a textbook, but then he mentioned you may just use the NCL Canvas shell instead. And I know that LBCC, we plan to use the Canvas shell. We learned about it a little bit late this semester, but we'll incorporate that next semester to give it a little more structure to our cybersecurity or our cybersecurity club. And then the idea of developing a progression of the for the students, I didn't word that right, but for the students in the competitions, right? Help them start off with something and then build up the complexity so that they don't get overwhelmed, right? And then trying to, again, incorporate other products such as Try Hack Me into the courses so they have a variety of options. As far as keeping them engaged, again, starting them, that's similar to what I said earlier, starting them off with other challenges and moving on to NCL. Identifying but not requiring other CTF opportunities, so you don't burn out the students to the point that they're just like they're consuming every weekend and they don't want to come to class. The last 2 I thought were really good. Bringing the latest cybersecurity news to the classroom, let them know how this is playing out in the real world. Chucklehead sharing documents on Discord because he wanted to impress his friends. These are things like trusted insider, real threat, and then bringing in industry guest speakers that could tell people tell the students what goes on in the real world, and especially when it's alumni from the college. So that makes it more real that they will get out of that college and be able to do real things. So that is my speed reading rendition of what we did.
Perfect, thank you. And then I don't know if you did you discuss any specific news outlets or social media sites that you use for latest cybersecurity news?
We did not, but that would be a worthy thing to add in there if you got any.
Yeah.
I always go to Wired, honestly.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah, if you guys think of any, that would be great to add under that second to last bullet, because I know that keeps them engaged.
SAS ICS, I find very valuable. It's a 5-minute podcast in the morning, very well condensed with what happened.
Yeah, and on that note, I think emphasizing to the students the importance of going to legitimate websites. When I was working at Boeing, I had a coworker bring in an article from a right-leaning newspaper that just wanted to insult China and brought up that whole thing about the hidden chips on the motherboards again that had already been disproven. And I could not just say ignore it to management. I had to go through all kinds of effort. So legitimate news sources, right? Don't go to the Inquirer and see that aliens are hacking our networks.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do need to teach them where to get information from and how to make sure that how that information is sourced. And I didn't hear the name. John, did you want to put the name of that podcast in there? I don't know if you heard.
I could do it. I think that was the SANS. What is the name of that SANS?
ICS, I think Internet Storm Center. ISC actually.
Yeah, the right. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great one to add.
That's by
Yeah. Okay.
Darknet Diaries is great too.
I was just going to add that one. I've listed almost all of those Darknet Diaries, and I love him. He does a great job putting the stories together. I know he took a little hiatus for the last couple months, but I think he's back again with some new Darknet Diaries.
He just had a new one last week.
Oh, cool. I'll have to get in on that.
Yeah, it's great.
And he said he's gonna be monthly from now. So
oh. Awesome.
Yeah, and talking of that, one thing that helps is when we talk about something like SamWorm or something, just have a reference to, oh, by the way, if you want to find out more or hear the guy, just listen to this Darknet episode.
Yeah.
I read that book on SamWorm. That was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Next, group 2. Pamela, do you want to take it away for us? Or are you still writing?
I am still writing, but that could go on forever. So I can just read what I wrote because I won't remember good conversation. so I had Joel and Donald and Edmund and Gustavo in our group, and how they use the NCL. Most of them are using it. Well, actually, all of them are using it on the credit side. I use it on the non-credit side, but they use it in the credit side. And Joel says that it's built into their classes. It's also used for extra credit, and it's based on, and that extra credit is based on how much they participate. Gustavo said they have a club. They don't have it incorporated into the courses yet, but would like to include it even as a special assignment or discussion board. Edmund said they have a club on Monday nights and they're exploring integrating it into classes. What professional development opportunities as coaches? Boy, I think this was Joel that mentioned this about the NCAE. And he used a lot of acronyms that I wasn't familiar with, and so I couldn't write intelligently about them. But he did say he was trying to get cloud certified, and he said that we need a coach's corner where coaches can build their skills as they don't have time to compete with the gym at the time when the gym is running. And I started wondering about this, and if maybe I misunderstood what he was saying, because I started wondering if coaches had access to the gym at other times when the classes are not running, if that would help them. And I'm unsure if that's kind of the direction he was going, but I think that our Discord, I assume, is available year round. And so if people wanted to drill down on that at another time, they could.
Yeah. And we can make that the gym open to any coach anytime.
Oh, that'd be
I
great.
didn't know that. Yeah, I thought they talked about doing it in the summer and then decided against it or something. Might have missed a meeting.
No, my understanding is with through Skyline, they can set you up to give you access to the gym whenever you need it. So you can either email us, or if you go into Skyline, open a ticket.
Oh, great. That's good. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So Donald, he said something about NSA sponsored programs that he participates in, and tech talks to stay current. Edmund said ditto on Joel's comments. He says he feels overwhelmed with his workload and with the multiple roles he has in his job. And so it's hard to keep up with the gym when it's running. He's also taking a CCNA cyber ops class this summer. Let me see. I think that's it on that one. Changes to your course. Are you considering any to make over the summer? And most all of them said no. Gustavo said that they're trying to incorporate material in several courses, but he's mostly doing a lot of research right now. And I said, we kind of have a vision for where we'd like to go. I don't know if it's going to happen this summer. We have so many alumni that return to take our class over and over again. And we would like to do some formal mentorship training for them so that they can mentor our new students that come in. So that's one component we would like to add to our program. But then also, we would like to be able to offer the alumni some expanded categories of training that kind of, maybe an offshoot of NCL that start with the NCL category of material, whether it's cryptology or whatever, and where they can build on that even further. But I don't know what that's going to look like, and we don't have time to build it right now. So, so how do you keep your students engaged in learning? Most of the people on the call said this was a very frustrating and difficult component for them. That they would get people interested and they would come to info sessions, or they would engage, and then perhaps the school would buy licenses for them, and then half as many people would actually show up to actually do the competition. So I will say that I have a completely different experience, and I think it's because it's the differentiation between offering this to students in a credit class most of whom are still in school and are focused on school. And my non-credit class, which is mostly people, the mid age is around 32 to 35. People who are trying to get a job in the industry, and their whole focus is not finishing school. Their focus is getting a job. And so they're here to get experience that they can add to their resume. They want to have talking points when they're in an interview, and this gives them that. Also, our program, we have almost every week, we have a different industry expert who speaks on a certain category of the NCL experience. And so they're networking with those industry experts. And so they have a completely different focus. And I think that's what makes them want to be in our class. So, and want to do the NCL. So
Great.
that's it.
Okay. Well, thanks again for sharing all that. What we'll do is we will provide a summary of this and email it out. And let me see. Yep. Let me change. I'm signed out. I don't want to sign in. Hold on. I was trying to bring up. Maybe I'll let you bring it back up, Ashley, since it looks like I'm signed out. Our very last slide, which just talks about what I was talking about earlier in the call, about the doodle poll. So we are trying to decide when are we going to meet again. And like I said, we try to change the time based upon people's schedules. So along with the summary of today's call, look for a doodle poll. And please fill that out as soon as you can so we can schedule when we will meet next month and what it'll look like meeting over the summer. So again, thanks everyone for your time. Thank you so much for all the participation. Don't forget about what's going on right now with Spirit Week, and also on Friday when we announce the individual and team game winners. So stay tuned for all of that. And again, thanks for your time. Look forward to talking to you guys again next month.